Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Adriana with House of Adriana, where I talk about mom life, lifestyle, budgeting, and planning. And in today's video, if you are a mom, a dad, any type of family member that struggles with meal planning for your kids, I have got the solution to beat that decision fatigue at dinner time. I have planned currently for the whole summer in meals for my family. And I'm here to talk to you about how I did it. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it real quick. So I'm gonna wait for you to grab a notepad and a pen, paper, all of it, because you're gonna wanna take notes. So first of all, let me show you what this looks like, okay? So this is my meal menu for the whole summer for my kids, my family. I know I said kids and stuff, but this could also work for you. So real quick, this is it. It does not have to be this pretty. I actually decided to type the menus, and you will see them labeled Kids Meal Menu A. And what I have is them done bi-weekly. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the week. And I have 4 menus, okay? And then in here, I have the corresponding recipes, but you'll see that these dinner ideas, lunch ideas, breakfast ideas don't require that much recipes. Like they're stuff you already know how to put together. So that eliminates a lot of the prep work that you have to do. But anyways, there are some dinners that do require a recipe that I haven't really fully tried yet, but they will be in here for easy reference and stuff like that. So that is my meal menu. This is what's gonna get me through the summer. I'm gonna stick to it. I worked so hard for it. So that's what it looks like. So first tip, and this I actually got from a planner that I got back in January. Oh gosh, I don't even remember the planner's name, but I remember one of the little tips that it said to do was to write down all the meals that you know for easy reference. And let me tell you, that is exactly what I did to create this meal menu. I went and I wrote down all the breakfasts that I do, all the lunches that I do, all the dinners, okay? I wrote them all down. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So I found it. This is it right here. It says Kid Meal Menu Ideas. So this is already stuff that I already had down, that I already cooked, I already made for the family. I went ahead and I wrote it down, and you'll see like there's a little B by it or something like that. That stands for breakfast. L and D stands for lunch or dinner. Sometimes the meals for lunch can be used for dinner as well. It just depends on how you plan it. So that is my first tip. Pause the video and write down exactly what you know. And this is what helps keep it simple, right? Like I'm not asking you to run out and go find a million recipes. I'm telling you to start with what you know. And that's how I like to keep it simple on my channel, is to keep it simple. And you always start with what you know. Write down all the meals that you already do. I cannot stress this enough, as I've mumbled on about it already. Just write down what you know and start there. So once you have your list going of what you make for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, next is the big one. And this is where you need to start planning by theme. I didn't do that. I have struggled with meal planning for a long time. I always did the inventory your pantry first, see what you have, so on and so forth. And that's what I did. And so I would spend an hour taking inventory. I know some of you follow me on Instagram, and you would see me in my stories on Sundays taking inventory of my food. And that's what I would do. And I was just like, gosh. And then I would plan. I'm like, did we already have this? I don't really know. So I would just throw it in there with a question mark. But if you plan your meals around themes, and this is what I mean. Like, let's say for breakfast, you want to do muffins. Great. So write muffins down as one of your options, okay? Then you can do eggs. Then you can do smoothies. You can do cereal, hot oatmeal. So these are breakfast ideas, right? So that's how you kind of want to meal plan, is by theme. By dinners, I mean, you could do Asian inspired, Mexican, Taco Tuesday night. Friday could be pizza night. Wednesday could be leftovers. So start thinking like in just broader ranges of themes, but also look at to see what you have written down, because that's gonna help you decide your themes too. Like maybe you always make, a Mexican taco cheesy casserole or something like that. Then put that down and you can dub like a certain night of the week, Mexican night or something like that. So start there and then kind of create themes around that. And what really, really helped me with this is when I visited a website called yummytoddlerfood.com. I think the creator of that, her name is Amy, and she has done an amazing job of just laying it out that way. And I went there and I visited and saw her meal plans, and I was starting to see how her meal plans kind of paralleled with my meals that I made. And I was like, okay, so she's got muffins down for Sunday. I already make banana muffins for my kids, so why don't we just start there? And then so on, and I just kept going through the meal menu. Now, once you can do these themes. So let's say that you've got muffins. Start to think of the variety. This is where it can kind of switch up things and make it a little bit more fun for the kids too. But I've also I'm a mom of 4. I've realized that kids really do like simple. They like not too much food mixed in together. They like simple. They like to keep it simple. They like to eat what they know and is what's called their safe foods. So always do that. But always think about variety that they like. So the muffins. So let's go back to that for a breakfast idea. Muffins, I've already got that down for all 4 weeks of the menu for summer, but I'm gonna switch it up and do a variety. So think of meals that you can switch up very easily. Like I said, I like to keep it simple here on this channel and in my life. So think about simple swaps. So for muffins, I've got banana flaxseed muffins. I've got spinach banana muffins, just apple muffins, and then I forget my 4th one, but I do have 4 variety of muffins that I know my kids eat. So I just put that into the meal menu. And so start to think about varieties. And if you're gonna do like pizza night, this is so easy. Pizza, you can do a red sauce pizza night. You can do the pesto sauce with just cheese and stuff like that. You could do, I just discovered these are called hamburger bun pizzas, and these look so fun. My kids like hamburger buns, I know they do. So, but you can change that in and put it as like a crust, and you just use hamburger buns instead. You could do the red sauce and then you just put the cheese on top. So hamburger bun pizzas, you do French bread pizza, non-bread pizza. Those are super easy for lunches, dinners, any night. My kids love them. But then you can switch up the sauces. You could do a white garlic sauce. You could do, the traditional red sauce. You could do a pesto sauce. And then you could make like your own homemade pizza night where you put out a buffet of veggies and the kids can add in their own toppings on top. You know what I mean? So start thinking about the meals that you already make and then simple swaps to make it like a variety. And then you'll start to see that you're like, oh my gosh, okay, so I've already got 4 muffin breakfasts that I can do. So that checks off that. Dinner with pizza night, like that is so simple. And then, lunches, they're simple too. You could do sandwiches, but you can do cream cheese and jelly sandwiches. You can do just cheese sandwiches. You can do ham and cheese sandwiches. You can do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So there's variety around these sandwiches, but it also is super simple, and you can just rotate them out into your menus. So I really hope that makes a lot of sense. because that is exactly what gave me the fuel to run with this menu that I had and plan for the whole summer. And how I plan on doing the menus is I plan on rotating them. So you'll see that I have week A, and I plan on doing that obviously 1 week. Let me show you. And then I have, menu B. I obviously plan on switching that and rotating. But then the nice thing about that is that I could switch it. So if I go alphabetical order, A, B, C, D for the month of June, let's say that I want to start from B and then go B, C, D, A and make A like the last one. So I could switch it that way, where they're not always having the same thing, okay? So then you just rotate the menus versus the meals, because if once you put in the work and you've already got your meals done, written down, your themes decided, and you put them down into an order, which I highly recommend that you guys go see this yummytoddlerfood.com where you can see her meal menus. It's just a different way of doing it by theme, and it's amazing. So then that's what I did. That's exactly a 2-step prong to meal planning. And then the nice thing about this is the meals that I have on here are literally for things that I already buy, and guaranteed you already have them too. You are always already buying bread. You're already always buying cheese, yogurts. And then the thing is that you're just switching them in orders. Okay, you're actually getting like a routine down with these. So there's no need to buy like specialty items unless you are trying out like a new recipe, which totally, if you want to have a night where you're like, try something new and you find that recipe, then when you go to the grocery store that week or whenever you go buy your groceries and you have it all set, no problems, right? So that is exactly what I did. And then I wrote it all down into, just real quick, once your brain starts realizing, okay, themes for dinner, for breakfast and lunch, your brain will just start like shooting off all the recipes for that, and you'll just, next thing you'll know, you'll have like 2 menus down. You're like, yes. And then you might have to get a little creative on the 4th week, but that's okay. So that is exactly all I did. And then another thing that I did is I decided to pretty it up. I put it in this nice little hardcover. And then lastly, my last tip that I do, and I hang this on our cabinet. Some of you may have seen it on Instagram at House of Adriana. I hang this on the cabinet, and right here is where I write the things that we need to use, because we always buy a lot of fruits and veggies. So up here is where I put like maybe one time we need to use spinach up, strawberries or blueberries, and then that's what I'll put down right here. So I can serve that with the meals. And then I always write down our leftovers. And currently right now we have a 3-bean chili. So I will write that on the leftover side. So that's something that me and my husband will need to use. All right, I fixed that. So, and then down here, it says menu. And this is where I will put what menu we're on. So either A, B, C, or D. I'll put the menu. And then starting from left to right, I'll put B for our breakfasts, L for our lunches, and then I will put them all down. I'll write them all down right here. And then D for dinners. One thing that I highly recommend, and this is just for me, maybe this is how my brain works, but maybe decide if your brain works like this too. I don't assign dinners to certain nights. I know I said to do it in the beginning, but if your brain operates like that and you want to have Tuesday taco night just to help with decision fatigue, totally get it. But I like to just list it down. That way I already have the idea's already there. I already know I have the ingredients, but depending on, how I feel, what the kids suggest, or if we have an activity that day or not, you can see that like spaghetti is a super easy dinner. So you're like, you know what, we'll do spaghetti. It's easy, done. And then all you do is cross it off because you've already done that meal. And then you can just move on. So it's really nice to have this posted, and it's on the outside of our cupboard in our kitchen. And if this helps my husband too. So if for some reason I am not home for dinner, he can see what menu we're on. He can reference any recipes if he needs to, which I don't think he would, but he can. So everything is already done for him and myself. So it makes it super easy. And this is just a laminated white piece of paper. And then I just labeled, need to use leftovers in the menu. So you guys, that is it. I cannot stress how easy this planning has been for me. And I am so excited because I know it's gonna streamline my meals for the summer and leave me with more opportunities to be with my kids. So that's why I really put in the work, hence typing it and finding the recipes and, sheet protecting it and stuff like that. But once you put in these works to your systems and you start to just really fine dial them, your streamlining of your home will be so easy. And that's exactly what I did. I said, you know what, it's gonna take me a couple days, and it did. This isn't something that I don't think you'll get done like in a day. This is something that takes a couple days because your brain gets tired, and you'll start to say like, oh, well, I need to start thinking of new menus, or I need varieties, different variety of foods. And it took me a couple days. I think it took me like 3 days when all was said and done. But I am so excited because this is gonna be so easy for summer. And I can change the menu with fall too. So if I wanna throw in like a pumpkin soup or something like that into the menu, done, easy swap. Because I already make a pumpkin soup. So you will start to see the swaps that you can do, the varieties, the rotations, you guys. And that's what I want you to see. But the themes really helped. You know what I mean? So I can't stress that enough. Also, don't forget to write down things you already know. Okay? Remember, KISS, keep it simple. Start with what you know. And, once you start to see all your meals laid out in an order, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, why don't I get some sort of rotation on this or something like that? So easy. So I hope I haven't babbled too much, but you guys, I cannot stress how easy this really is. And that was it. So I do plan on starting this menu June 1st coming up, which is hopefully when you see this, it will be June 1st. So please follow along with me at House of Adriana on Instagram, and I will share the photos of my dinners that I have on the menu. You'll get to see what I actually am making and stuff like that. What I do also, let me throw this in there before I sign off. Let's say one night I'm just doing quesadillas, that's the main dish is quesadillas. I always throw fruits and veggies on top of that, okay? So if it's a quesadilla, I'll throw in a side of cucumber and olives, okay? Just keep it simple like that. Or I will make, depending on what I'm eating too, I will have a big batch of Mexican rice already made. And then I will do quesadillas, Mexican rice, and cucumbers. You know what I mean? So the sides are very minimal. They're cut up some strawberries, throw in some olives, we're good to go, right? This doesn't have to be something super fancy, okay? Remember, just to keep it simple. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna shut myself off now, but I really hope this way of meal planning helps you. And like I said, one of the huge resources that I went and visited was yummytoddlerfood.com. She has free resources, tons. So I recommend starting there too, or if you need new recipes to try. And she's also on Instagram too. Follow me on Instagram at House of Adriana to see what I'm cooking up, you guys. So thanks so much for joining me. I really hope this helped you. And if you guys have questions or I went way too fast on this subject, leave a comment. I will definitely be answering them. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next video.